Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Monday, January 13th, 2025. I'm going to start with this image here and just show the sell signal that started really on Thursday. Well, you could also say it started on Wednesday of last week. Wait, we didn't trade Thursday, so that'd be Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. On Tuesday, we put out a key reversal high by pushing by a thread to a new all-time high and then closing below Monday's low. That in itself was a sign of weakness, but then we basically collapsed to channel support. So it was kind of a wait and see. And the following day, we did put out a sell signal by a hair. I'd mentioned worth waiting. The following morning, we opened a little lower and continued south. That was Friday's sell-off. So expectations remain intact now for continuing south into this 126.99 to 128.27 region. So holding below the low 140s maintains an upper 120s objective. This is a daily chart. We may actually see that this week. Inside of that, we've got 137.42, and that is another channel level that did contain highs for the better part of a week. And so it is an intraday resistance area. If we happen to push or open above 137.42, 140.35 and reach, which is, at least for today, a range of resistance up to 143.06. I say at least for today because these two are diverging. This steeply rising channel bottom is pulling away. And so we'll just kind of see what the low is for today in terms of what we're expecting in terms of resistance for tomorrow. But for right now, 140.35, the beginning of a range up to 143.06, a wide range, about 2.5 points plus, that can absorb weekly buying pressures, and below edge, expecting the 126.99 to 128.27 region. That may actually be in reach this week. Downside, we've got 133.02. And 133.02, nothing but a simple trend line off some lows over the last, well, you go back to the August low, but it really combs across the December lows, the early December lows. It can contain intraday selling, but I wouldn't fall in love with this as a support level. I think it's worth a day trade. Certainly, 137.42 is worth a day trade. You can sell 137.42, buy back at 133.02, and vice versa. You could buy 133.02 and take profits at 137.42 if you're an aggressive day trader. If we break 133.02, we could actually test 128.27 today, the beginning of a range down to 126.99 that may well contain selling through February. This is a significant convergence. It's a horizontal channel bottom at 126.99 that takes into account kind of this double top all-time high area, and you've got a rising 5-month channel bottom coming off of the August low. This area significant, able to contain selling through February, possibly longer. From here, we can round up, not only back into the low 150s again within 2 to 3 weeks, but what would then be kind of a new rising channel top that I can see here is in the mid 160s and climbing. It would be the channel bottom test at 128.27 roughly. We would have a new channel top then that is now presently in the mid 160s and climbing. So we could push into the 170s, 180s. Actually, following a test of 126.99 to 128.27. So this is an area to get long and to stay long, not only for the day, for the week, into February back into the low 150s, but into the second quarter perhaps, or into the late first quarter, whereby we could anticipate the 170s, 180s over the following 2 to 3 months. Now, there is a weekly channel top, if we're talking 180s, at 182.73. That is a significant resistance area. We've not seen it. I don't expect to see it anytime soon, but I guess I'm going on a limb here by saying that, once we test this, and this is a weekly chart, by the way, so the formations that I just showed you in the 126, 128 handle are on the weekly chart, 127 to 130.46. I don't mean to keep throwing different numbers at you. I call it fine-tuning when you use the daily chart, and I'll show the same formations on the daily chart at 126.99 to 128.27. Those are the levels that you can use, kind of a worst case if you want to enter an early trade in the 130 area, 130.46, 127 even. I'm fine with that as well. But really, the takeaway here is holding above this area will keep that 182.73 region in reach. I'm going to call that 2 to 3 months of testing the upper 120s. Within 2 to 3 months of testing this area here on the daily chart, 126.99 to 128.27, we can make our way within several months into the low 180s. So keep that in mind. And I don't see this happening today, but it is possible that later in the week we close below 126.99. And if so, any longs you may have acquired in that vicinity should be exited. And you can consider playing the short side. 1 to 2 week swing traders can anticipate 114.54, which is a 5/8 Fibonacci from the August low against that high from last week. And really, over the next 3 to 5 weeks or so, a settlement below 126.99 does carry with it a 103.04 target. 103.04, significant long-term support. It is the sort of long-term support, 103.37 on the weekly chart, that we would expect with a violation of the same area that can absorb selling through the second quarter. From here, we can round up to new highs. This could actually be an annual low. And if we close below 103.37, NVIDIA is looking awfully bearish as we continue into later year. It's a scenario that I'm not expecting. Let's cover the upside then. I really don't see a reason to buy this market, at least, early in the week until we close above 143.06. And that then should yield, by Friday's close, this 152.89 November high once again. But I do think that this also carries with it higher trade as we move into February. I could outline, channel resistance, and I'm looking for it right now. But I don't really see anything on the daily chart as I'm combing through the charts right now. You do have this 182.73, of course, on the weekly. I think if we close back above this 143.06 area, we can expect the low 150s again within 3 to 5 days, and even higher as we continue into later January, early February. I'll give you a pretty good indication of what the 3 to 5 week target would be. But for right now, closing back above 143.06, expect a retest of 152.89 within 3 to 5 days, and I think even higher as we continue into February trade. But for right now, the emphasis certainly remains bearish below this area. Once again, over the next week or two, quite possibly this week, we fall into that significant 126.99 to 128.27 region. I think that pretty much summarizes it. I'm going to leave it at that for this particular Wicked Stocks video analysis on NVIDIA for Monday. I'll be back, of course, tomorrow with Tuesdays. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial. You'll be able to see all of our stock picks that we put out through the week, as well as our daily Triple Q and SPY, NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, Apple stock. All of that you can see for no cost, 5 days. Check us out. I'll be back tomorrow with Tuesday's NVIDIA. You have a great day.